This yin pose we're going to do is moving up to the third chakra, the middle of the abdomen, stomach, kidney area, side waist. So we're really going to focus on opening up the lateral sides of the body by engaging in a supported side opening pose. So if you have a big round bolster, you can use that. If you have a smaller one, that's what I have on the bottom here, a smaller one. And then I'm adding folded blankets on top of it, just to make it the height that really allows me to get as much bend sideways over this while having my outer hip anchored to the mat as well as my upper body. So depending on how long your torso is, how flexible you are or are not, you just want to find an edge. So I'm going to come down to my right outer hip, plant that near the edge of my lift here, my support, and really use my hands and that anchor point of the outer hip to lift and lengthen the spine, and then roll over, come over that lift, so that the lift is really essentially out, supporting the side waist and the lower part of the side ribs. And then I'm going to keep coming down, and if my head rests on my arm and my arm is on the floor, that's good. If it would feel more comfortable to have a lift underneath the head that feels more supported and anchored, that you can relax into it, you can do that. And then you're going to add the upper arm overhead, and that will open up the side waist even more and extend it up into the upper torso or further down into the lower, or both. So just make sure you have enough of a support that you feel a good stretch. So the legs are bent, or any way that the hips are more or less stacked, and you're comfortable and can relax into it. It feels stable. So once you're in position, keeping the head aligned, the shoulders stacked, you can even bring that upper arm towards the back plane to help stack the shoulders a little more. Just make sure there's no sharp pain anywhere. Close your eyes and start to take slow, deep breaths through the nostrils. Slowing it down with each successive breath, smoothing it out, equalizing the length of in-breath and out-breath. Perhaps counting the breath so that you establish your mind in connection with the breathing, as well as can really build the length of the breath in a very conscious way. So counting by 1,000ths every in-breath and every out-breath. The in-breath registering where you're feeling that stretch, the sensation, and the out-breath relaxing more fully into it, over your support, just draping over. Actively breathing into the left lung, the organs in the left side, kidneys in the back, part of the intestines in the front, spleen,
prepare now to shift out of this side. Release the upper arm, just move through that shoulder, you're feeling it in there. And use that hand to press down to lift the head, the torso up. And when you can add that right hand to further the lift up, just pause when the spine is a little more upright, aligned. And then between, just come into table position and close your eyes and just feel how much more spacious, open that right side feels to you. And then do some movements, perhaps rocking, perhaps little barrel rolls through the spine to integrate that stretch. Know that when you really open the sides like that, you open the capacity for the lungs to breathe deeply as you release any rigidness of the muscles and the connective tissue between the rib cage, ribs of the rib cage. And then you're going to set up for the other side, planting your left outer hip to the outside of that, near the outside of your lift, using your hands to lift the spine up out of the anchoring point of that outer hip, and then lowering your side waist, lower side ribs over the lift, letting the rest of the torso, head, rest over and anchor down onto the ground. So you're anchored both ends here. And then your right arm comes up over to accentuate that stretch in the side body even more. Just notice where that adds more stretch for you. Again, stacked hips, legs in a comfortable place. And then shift back, full awareness to your breathing. Slow, deep, smooth. Perhaps counting each breath. How many counts on the inhale and on the exhale. Building length. Cultivating smoothness and evenness of length from the in to the out. Inhale is awareness where you're feeling the stretch. Consciously breathing more deeply into the right side lung. Massaging into the organs there, the liver, the kidney, part of the intestines, the stomach. Every exhale, letting yourself drape and release and surrender even more. preparing to come out of this now, release the upper arm. Move through that shoulder to integrate the stretch that's in the shoulder area. Then use that right hand to press down to help lift the head, lift the spine. Then use the left hand to help continue that lift. And when you're more upright, then shift into table position again. Pause for a moment just to feel as both sides equilibrate more. Feeling the spaciousness you've created in the left side now. And then perhaps some movements, lateral side to side, or a little rocking of the pelvis, or barrel rolls. If the spine was a skipping rope, crown of head and tailbone, the both ends of the skipping rope, two people moving that skipping rope. That's the kind of movement you're doing with the spine here in barrel rolls.